You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Right now at 9 o'clock, taking a live look outside as that fog starts to burn off. It is Wednesday, December 10th. Lots to get to this morning as we follow stories in our community and all across the Bay Area. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Ann Makovic, and here's a look at some of our news headlines right now. Teachers in the West Contra Costa School District will be back on the job very soon. The district has reached a tentative deal with the teachers union. It is a 2-year agreement that includes an 8% pay raise, fully paid family health care, and bonuses for new teachers, especially in special education. The deal still has to be ratified by the board. This comes after 10 months of talks and a 4-day walkout. Students will be back in class tomorrow. The 90-year-old driver who crashed into a Los Gatos coffee shop on Thanksgiving has died. That is according to the Los Gatos newspaper. They say police confirmed to them Carl Clemmer died from his injuries on Sunday. Clemmer had to be extricated from his vehicle and was sent to the hospital after this huge crash. No one else was hurt as it was closed for the holiday. Police still investigating what caused him to crash. And today, 24 transit systems will start to allow riders to tap their debit or credit cards to pay their fares. Major agencies like AC Transit, Muni, and VTA all included there. You can also use digital wallets on your smartphone to pay. Back in August, BART became one of the first to start the tap and ride system. I've used it. It is convenient. Now let's get to our first alert forecast. A beach hazard statement still in effect along our coasts. Meteorologist Jessica Birch has more on that and when it's expected to clear up.
Well, it's another cool day for our inland spots with foggy conditions filling the delta, spilling in from the Sacramento Valley. That's the reason why we're also seeing daytime highs just a little bit below average. Let's zoom all the way over into Antioch, for example. This morning we woke up to 40s. Well, this afternoon we're topping off in the 40s in that microclimate. Take a look at our coastal communities. Now, a big contrast compared to Antioch stretched all the way along our shoreline. Today we'll see low to mid 60s on tap for us from Pacifica all the way down into Half Moon Bay, 50s and 60s back and forth throughout the rest of the Bay Area throughout this afternoon. But let's talk about some other things going on for us. Over into our coastal communities, we're under a beach hazard statement today, meaning we could see rip currents and sneaker waves, so you want to be very careful out there along the water. Heading into this afternoon, another thing that we want to keep a close eye on, it's the air quality. For the most part throughout the Bay Area, and this was the case yesterday too, we're sitting in a moderate category. So limit your time outside if possible, but especially over into the East Bay we go. The East Bay today is sitting in an unhealthy category for sensitive groups, so really try limiting your time outside right now. It's also foggy out there too, so it's really hard to tell if it's haze or fog. Now into the afternoon hours we go, that fog will start to pull back just a little bit into the Sacramento Valley, but for the most part it has been a very dense fog that we've been dealing with in the morning hours each day this week, and we're continuing to see that trend into this weekend's forecast. Daytime highs throughout our inland spots mostly sitting in the low 50s as we dive into this weekend's forecast and into early next week. There's a better chance of showers right around the corner, especially for our coastal communities as the storm system pushes in from offshore. So light showers turning into moderate showers as we head into next Monday and Tuesday. And for our friends along the bay, temperatures will be a little bit warmer at that point, sitting in the upper 50s compared to our coastal or compared to our inland communities sitting in the low 50s. Back to you.
New calls this morning from SF General social workers. They are demanding increased safety at the hospital. It's after one of their own was attacked on the job last week and then later died. Alberto Rangel was stabbed several times in the neck in the hospital's HIV unit. He died on Saturday. The suspect in that case, Wilfredo Torolero Arechi, is being held in the psych ward of the same hospital that the attack took place. The union representing hospital workers held a meeting this morning outlining their demands. They are calling for an immediate written safety plan, a commitment to provide safe staffing, protected time off, support for affected staff, and ongoing improvements to prevent workplace violence. His co-workers had previously told us they reported the suspect's erratic behavior before the deadly attack. They also say they've been raising concerns about the lack of security measures at the hospital.
We have been doing that for years, advocating for stronger safety measures, adequate safe staffing and case ratios, and protections for social workers.
They say they want a plan in place before they resume normal operations at the hospital. We have reached out to SF General for a response on those demands and are waiting to hear back. Health department leaders have since increased security after the incident. That includes limiting access points and speeding up plans to install metal detectors. Tortolero Arechi is due in court next week for an arraignment after he missed his first court appearance yesterday. Caltrain is one of the dozen transit agencies rolling out the tap and ride system today, allowing people to use your debit or credit card for fares. Veronica Macias is at the San Francisco Caltrain station breaking down the changes.
It's now getting easier to move around the Bay Area on public transportation. Clipper making some changes and making it more convenient for people. And all across the public transportation agencies, you can now tap your debit or your credit card and go. Some people saying this is encouraging. They're hoping it's a sign that San Francisco is ready to bounce back. Convenient features on the new Clipper card include being cloud-based. There's no more waiting for funds to show up in someone's account. The money transferred online is instantly available. Across the board, you could use your debit or your credit card to tap and pay for all area transit agencies, VTA, Muni, AC Transit, and the list goes on. And the best feature might be being able to transfer from one transit agency to another. Clipper 2.0 gives you an almost $3 savings on the second ride as long as that transfer is made within a 2-hour window. So say you're going from BART to then Muni. You can now manage multiple accounts, and if you believe you qualify for a discount, the next generation Clipper card makes it possible to apply online versus in person or by mail. People saying this is also encouraging, hoping that more people will rely on public transportation to get around and see the city.
It's super efficient. I'm a fan of it. It just, makes everything more simple, especially when you're, in a rush in the morning, like a lot of people. So
I think it definitely also helps people that are visiting the city, just because, if you're only here for a couple of days, getting a Clipper card can be a little bit of, just an extra step that keeps you from getting around the city easily.
Of course, there are millions of cards out there in circulation. MTC says it's going to take some time, some weeks before they can make upgrades to everyone's account. So the best thing you can do is go online and make them yourself.
And BART was the first transit agency to roll out that tap and ride system back in August. The West Contra Costa School District strike may now be resolved, but other Bay Area school districts are still struggling with their own financial issues today. It's a big day for Oakland Unified School District. They are expected to vote on a final plan to try to solve their budget crisis. They have to cut $100 million from next year's budget, trying to avoid a state takeover. School leaders are considering laying off staff, cutting school programs, along with other steep cuts. The district will have to present a balanced budget to the county by Monday. And over in the Santa Rosa City School District, the board will also be weighing some tough choices because of their budget crisis. They have to cut $2.8 million to avoid running out of cash next year. Last spring, they shut down 6 schools and laid off 150 staffers. That saved $7 million, but the deficit still stands at nearly $20 million. And in Menlo Park, students and parents gathered in front of the Tide Academy there yesterday. The school is in danger of closing because of declining enrollment. The Tide is part of the Sequoia Union High School District. The school board is expected to talk about the potential closure during its meeting today. A final decision is expected in February. Tonight in Oakland, the Laney College community is going to come together to honor a local legend, Coach John Beam, with a powerful tribute on the field that he loved. The memorial, called Light the Path, Light the Field, begins at 4 this afternoon at the Laney College Bistro. There's going to be some speeches, and then participants are going to carry candles along a short walk to the football field, the same path Coach Beam walked for years. Beam gained national recognition on Netflix Last Chance U. He mentored generations of Oakland athletes before he was murdered last month. A video tribute is going to close the evening under the stadium lights. The suspect charged in his murder, 27-year-old Cedric Irving Jr., is due back in court later this month. Still ahead here on CBS News Bay Area, some new momentum in San Francisco's post-pandemic recovery, and that data is coming from a surprising source.
It's been really nice to see the uptick in traffic and people coming back downtown.
It is back. It's not talk, it's real, man. We see it, we feel it.
We are going to take a look at how a spike in food deliveries has business owners reaping the benefits. Plus, a thief ransacked a brand new craft store in the East Bay. Why the owners say what was stolen wasn't even the worst part of it.
Oh, well, it's another chilly day for us today in our inland spots with low 50s and upper 40s in places like Antioch, stretched all the way over into Contra too. Throughout the next couple days, we're continuing to see cool, cloudy skies, misty at times as well. But at least as we head into this weekend's forecast, we'll notice just a little bit of a warm up heading into next week too. 50s turning into mid 50s and upper 50s around the corner. You make your way over into our Bay forecast. Well, we're already in the upper 50s. We'll actually see 60s returning into the forecast the next couple days. A best chance of showers rolling in as we head into next week.
The Federal Reserve wrapping up its final meeting of the year today, and investors are watching closely for what that means heading into 2026. Analysts expect the Fed to cut interest rates by a quarter point. That would be the third cut this year. Investors will also dig into updated forecasts on inflation and growth with questions about what next year might look like. All eyes on Chair Jerome Powell's press conference, especially after recent pushback among Fed members. We spoke with CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger on our morning edition about what we can expect.
Likely a quarter of a percentage point. That would put us at 3.5 to 3.75% in the Fed funds rate. That'd be the lowest range in nearly 3 years. So if you're paying 21% on your credit card balance and it goes to 20.8%, you're not getting a ton of relief. And so I understand why that doesn't feel great, but it is in the right direction.
Jill also says Chairman Powell may signal a pause in January in order to catch up on all the data that's been missing since the government shutdown. Well, downtown San Francisco is still struggling to recover from the pandemic. Right now, more than 35% of office space is sitting vacant. That is down just slightly from the record high set earlier this year and more than 5 times what it was before the pandemic. But there are some signs of positive momentum, and that data is coming from an unlikely source. Food delivery businesses that cater to downtown office workers. Kenny Choi has more on the DoorDash data.
As lunchtime kicks off, delivery scooters speed off to their next drop-off. Business isn't just picking up inside the Grove, a breakfast, lunch, and dinner spot on the corner of 3rd and Mission. Its delivery window doesn't seem to slow down.
It is back. It's not talk, it's real, man. We see it, we feel it.
David Cohen is CEO and chef. He says sales are up about 20% across the board year over year. That includes third-party deliveries to downtown offices.
DoorDash has always been strong for us. We are up significantly year over year.
New data from DoorDash shows lunchtime orders at downtown San Francisco commercial addresses rose 15.7% year over year, compared to the national average of just 2.5%. Just down the street on Mission and First, Chalo's is serving freshly made Argentinian empanadas.
We have from beef, chicken, to mushroom, spinach, real vegetables.
Annie Leung and her husband started Chalo's, a cafe in the Sunset, pre-pandemic, but have now expanded, opening this downtown San Francisco location in March. They rely more on office foot traffic here rather than deliveries for now, but are also seeing an uptick in sales.
A slight increase, little by little, but it definitely does help expand our footprint a little bit.
Leong says improving numbers give them hope to ramp up their office catering side of the business in the near future.
It's been really nice to see the uptick in traffic and people coming back downtown.
Back at the Grove, the latest office delivery numbers are also reinforcing what Cohen is seeing at other times throughout the workday.
Lunch has always been strong, but when we see that change in the happy hour and we see that change in the evening business, we really know that there's activity all day now. And so that's really a strong indicator for us.
It's another sign of a busier downtown, as small business owners hope that trend continues to move in the right direction.
According to the DoorDash data, San Francisco's spike in lunch orders was the second highest amongst the nation's 100 largest cities. It was behind only Chandler, Arizona. As for the rest of the Bay Area, orders in San Jose and Oakland rose about 1%. Crews begin work on the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge today. They're getting rid of those old toll booths. They'll be replaced by open road tolling, meaning you won't have to slow down. Overhead fast-track scanners will read toll tags while cars drive at highway speeds. That work begins in the westbound on the upper deck. Officials say the shift to cashless tolling should boost safety and ease those backups at the plaza. An animal rights activist has to turn herself in today after being found guilty of stealing 4 chickens. Zoe Rosenberg was sentenced to 90 days at the Sonoma County Jail. She was ordered last week to report to the main adult detention facility for what she calls a rescue operation from Purdue's Petaluma Poultry Slaughterhouse in 2003. She was found guilty of trespassing and conspiracy. Rosenberg's group, Direct Action Everywhere, released video of the rescue saying the birds were covered in scratches and bruises. She also was ordered to pay more than $100 in restitution to the farm. A craft store is reopening in Berkeley today after being ransacked last week. It was a jewelry making business that recently opened on the 4th Street corridor. But on Thursday, a burglar broke in, and as Katie Nielsen reports, what the thief took isn't even the worst of it.
No, we actually teach you how to make jewelry, and so we have all of the tools necessary to create jewelry pieces.
This is the aftermath from that early morning break-in at Silverworks Studios. Empty trays, ransacked drawers, and a huge mess to clean up.
He took a bunch of product that we make into jewelry, that our clients make into pieces of jewelry, including silver band and gold band and bezels and other pieces.
Studio owner Amy Fitzgerald says as if the materials stolen wasn't enough, the thief decided to leave behind a parting gift.
Then to add insult to injury, he then took a fire extinguisher and sprayed all over the studio, every surface of the studio. So it was a complete mess.
Fine white chemical powder covering absolutely everything.
And was only in here for about 9 minutes. It's amazing the amount of damage that happened in that 9 minutes.
Fitzgerald says they've always felt safe on the 4th Street corridor in Berkeley and still do. She thinks maybe the thief might have been confused.
We do have a sign out on the street, and I think maybe he thought we were a real jewelry store, not a place that you come to make jewelry.
She says this is basically the worst possible time of year for something like this to happen.
Right before the holidays, we're a small business. We're just getting started here in East Bay. We opened less than 2 months ago. I really don't know, but I hope karma comes back and gets him.
Amy tells Katie that suspect got away with $10,000 worth of jewelry making material. So far, no arrests. Police are searching for a pair of thieves who broke into a veterinary hospital and stole pets' ashes. Yeah, this happened in Brentwood, Central Boulevard Veterinary Hospital, and it was all caught on surveillance video. Now, this happened Saturday morning at around 6 a.m. You saw them breaking in through the glass door. The thieves tried to break into the cash register. They weren't able to do it. So then they took some bags that had urns in them. The vet's office says they aren't worried about anything else that was taken, just getting those precious ashes back to their owners. Still ahead, the largest tidal restoration project on the West Coast, happening right here in the Bay Area. How the multi-million-dollar effort helps to reshape the entire South Bay shoreline.
We're actually making great progress. We need to do it faster to stay ahead of sea level rise.
We are tagging along with the team tasked with making the transformation.
It's kind of hard to tell if you're seeing hazy conditions or just foggy conditions, especially off into the East Bay. But as those clouds start to lift, you'll notice a little bit of a difference. Daytime highs sitting in the Bay, sitting in the upper 50s and lower 60s each day as we dive into this weekend and early next week. And speaking of early next week, well, daytime highs are going to stay a little bit cooler for our inland spots, but the change in the forecast, the big story for us, has to do with an end of this dry spell that we've had for us recently in the Bay. It was great for that Thanksgiving travel, not having rainy conditions or slick surfaces on the roads, but now we're starting to see a return of the showers as early as next Monday and Tuesday, so that's what we're keeping a close eye on as we head into the next couple days. We'll continue to monitor that forecast closely. Just to show you one more time, though, showing you our current temperatures as you head outside this morning before you leave the front door. We are dealing with chilly conditions, 30s and 40s, so be very careful out there this morning. Bundle up. This is the time of year where I always say start taking those outdoor plants and putting them inside, especially in those overnight hours. And if you have outdoor pets, bundle them up too and warm them up in those overnight hours. For now, back to you.
The largest tidal restoration project on the West Coast is happening right now in the Bay Area. It is called the Salt Pond Restoration Project. You can see much of it covers the southern part of the bay right now. They are working on a pond in Mountain View, right by Shoreline Park. Suji Nam has more on what the project means for local wildlife and the health of the bay.
Grading out the dirt into a nice, gentle 30-to-1 habitat slope.
Years of construction soon coming to an end.
Marshes themselves cushion the bay shoreline from wind waves, storms, high tides.
Dave Halsing oversees the South Bay Salt Pond Restoration Project in Mountain View, managing the A2W pond that spans more than 400 acres near Shoreline Park and Stevens Creek Trail. Crews are transforming this pond that was once used for salt production into tidal marshes.
We raised the north end of that channel and rebuilt the bay trail on top of it, and we put these culvert pipes here so that it could drain out onto these rocks and flow out into the pond.
Halsing and his team imported 180,000 cubic yards of dirt to cultivate these wetland habitats.
A cubic yard is about the size of a washing machine, so you can imagine 180,000 of those piled up.
They're excavating the Stevens Creek channel to create a flow path between the pond and the bay.
Every time the tide comes in, it'll drop a little sediment in the bottom of the pond. That sediment will build up and eventually reach the right elevation for marsh to grow.
Nonprofits like Save the Bay help the marsh grow. Executive Director David Lewis says they plan to remove weeds and replace them with native plants by the pond to invite in wildlife.
Need a place right next to the tidal marsh that has enough vegetation to protect them from predators like hawks, protect them from people who are using the shoreline. We're actually making great progress. We need to do it faster to stay ahead of sea level rise.
A few more touches to this pond restoration. Halsing says they are building a public walking path and bridge.
We'll have more wildlife and more plants, and it won't just be an empty body of water.
While it may take several years before we see significant wildlife bloom by the pond, Halsing and his crews are optimistic about helping to restore the bay to what it once was.
Oh, the crew just finished building 5 habitat islands in the middle of the pond. They expect it to be finished in the next few weeks. Coming up in our next half hour here on CBS News Bay Area, a neighborhood in the South Bay searching for a real-life Grinch. Why the homeowners say they think this Christmas thief knew exactly what they were looking for.
We just got Dumbo that night, just put together. That was our new one of the year, and it got stolen that night.
How they are hoping that security camera footage can help catch this person. And let's take a live look outside before we head to break. You can see that fog starting to clear away from the Bay Bridge. It is 9:29, and we're going to have another look at your top stories and your first alert forecast when we come back.
Your community, your news, powered by KPIX. CBS News Bay Area. Watch anywhere, anytime. Stay informed and connected. Trusted local news when you want it. CBS News Bay Area. Watch free on any device. You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Thanks for being with us this Wednesday. I'm Ann Makovic, and here's another look at some of our news headlines right now. Federal judge in San Francisco has blocked the Trump administration from deploying National Guard troops in Los Angeles. The White House sent about 4,000 California Guard members in June, sending them to LA during protests over immigration raids. That was all despite Governor Gavin Newsom's objections. Today's ruling orders those troops be returned to the governor's control. Today, Oakland Unified School District is weighing staff and school program cuts. The district is expected to vote on a final plan to solve its budget crisis. They need to cut $100 million from next year's budget in order to avoid a state takeover. The district will have to present a balanced budget to the county by Monday. And today, 24 transit systems are going to start allowing riders to tap their debit or credit cards to pay their fares. That includes major agencies like AC Transit, Muni, BTA. You can also use digital wallets on your smartphone to pay. Back in August, BART became one of the first to start the tap and ride system. All right, let's get another check on our first alert forecast halfway through the week. Here's meteorologist Jessica Birch.
Well, it's another cool day for our inland spots with foggy conditions filling the delta, spilling in from the Sacramento Valley. That's the reason why we're also seeing daytime highs just a little bit below average. Let's zoom all the way over into Antioch, for example. This morning we woke up to 40s. Well, this afternoon we're topping off in the 40s in that microclimate. Take a look at our coastal communities. Now, a big contrast compared to Antioch stretched all the way along our shoreline. Today we'll see low to mid 60s on tap for us from Pacifica all the way down into Half Moon Bay, 50s and 60s back and forth throughout the rest of the Bay Area throughout this afternoon. But let's talk about some other things going on for us. Over into our coastal communities, we're under a beach hazard statement today, meaning we could see rip currents and sneaker waves, so you want to be very careful out there along the water. Heading into this afternoon, another thing that we want to keep a close eye on, it's the air quality. For the most part throughout the Bay Area, and this was the case yesterday too, we're sitting in a moderate category. So limit your time outside if possible, but especially over into the East Bay we go. The East Bay today is sitting in an unhealthy category for sensitive groups, so really try limiting your time outside right now. It's also foggy out there too, so it's really hard to tell if it's haze or fog. Now into the afternoon hours we go, that fog will start to pull back just a little bit into the Sacramento Valley, but for the most part it has been a very dense fog that we've been dealing with in the morning hours each day this week, and we're continuing to see that trend into this weekend's forecast. Daytime highs throughout our inland spots mostly sitting in the low 50s as we dive into this weekend's forecast and into early next week. There's a better chance of showers right around the corner, especially for our coastal communities as the storm system pushes in from offshore. So light showers turning into moderate showers as we head into next Monday and Tuesday. And for our friends along the bay, temperatures will be a little bit warmer at that point, sitting in the upper 50s compared to our coastal or compared to our inland communities sitting in the low 50s. Back to you.
Well, there is a real-life Grinch in the Bay Area, apparently, ruining Christmas for one family in the South Bay. Somebody stole a family's Christmas decorations in San Jose. The person believed to be behind it all was captured here on their Ring camera. And Amanda Harry spoke to the family, who says they want to make sure this doesn't happen to others in the neighborhood.
It's very frustrating. I feel violated.
It's like a scene out of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. A man comes up and grabs a bunch of the large figurines off of the Steele family's lawn in the middle of the night. Amanda Steele thinks he was looking for specific ones.
But they only took our Disney stuff. We had 6 Disney items.
Their Ring camera caught video of the person, despite their efforts to obscure a neighbor's camera. Amanda's husband, Nathan, thinks the thief knew which items were the big-ticket ones.
The Disney ones, they do add up a lot. They're anywhere from $100 to $300. So that's what it looked like before.
A photo shows the lawn completely filled with light-up holiday decorations. Now, it's much more sparse.
So we had, most of our Disney decorations are on the lawn here. We had Eeyore over here. Then we had my favorite, which was the hot rod with Minnie and Mickey. We just got Dumbo that night, just put together. That was our new one of the year, and it got stolen that night.
Nathan puts a lot of effort into this display, hours to put it up and years collecting it all. He says his neighbors do too. They do it for the kids, and it's something they couldn't afford growing up.
We grew up both, me and my neighbor, poor, and we just decided, we can do it now, and the kids love it, so that's what it's all about.
The Steele family doesn't expect to get their decorations back, but they want to warn others. That's when they noticed a trend.
I initially posted it on Ring, and within the day, I had gotten another post on Ring of somebody so clearly in the same neighborhood that had said the same thing, and it was, I noticed a Disney item as well. And then from there, I had just been checking on Nextdoor and everything too, and that's when I noticed there was a theme that other people were having this same individual coming in and stealing their Disney-themed stuff.
Shameless. Police in San Jose tell us the suspect is not identified and is still on the loose. Sutter Health is going to stop providing gender-affirming care for minors starting today. Sutter becomes the latest California hospital to end gender-affirming care for trans youth, citing federal pressure under the Trump administration. That move leaves hundreds of families suddenly cut off from care they relied on. Advocates say it violates California's civil rights laws and are calling on the state to step in. New rules for RVs on city streets in Palo Alto are in effect starting today. City leaders approved the ban, cracking down on them earlier this week. It's a problem we've seen in several Bay Area cities. Palo Alto isn't just going after RVs, though, also the people who are renting them out. John Ramos looks at the new restrictions for the so-called van lords.
People have been complaining that the number of homeless RVs parked on Palo Alto city streets have been increasing, and the city council has been looking to draft an ordinance to have them removed. And Monday night, they made it official. The city already prohibits vehicles from being parked for more than 72 hours, but so far that hasn't been widely enforced on the RVs. The newest ordinance, passed on Monday, adds a ban on detached trailers being parked on city streets. The measure passed without comment, except from Councilmember Julie Lithcott-Hames, the lone vote in opposition.
I wonder where we all think the RV dwellers should go. The RV dwellers I know have jobs. They pay taxes, but they cannot afford rent remotely near where their jobs are.
The new ordinance passed, but one resident named Brad S. didn't think much of the slow pace of the city's efforts.
This is what action looks like after years of delay, getting ready to get ready, tackling the lowest hanging fruit while more serious day-to-day problems go unaddressed.
But Richard West didn't go unaddressed. He said the RV he owns was towed the other day for not having current registration, and he showed the eye-popping bill to get it back, $150 per minute, with just the tow bill totaling $3,406.
What does this kind of prove to you?
Well, they just want to take your vehicles from you, and I guess there's nothing you can do about it.
You think they don't want you to ever get it back?
Well, unless you've got thousands of dollars, in your pocket, I guess.
The city is also going after van lords who rent RVs to the unhoused. Under the new ordinance, people are prohibited from renting out RVs intended for living on city streets now or in the future. They also cannot advertise the vehicles for prohibited uses or store rental RVs on city streets or parking lots. It's unclear how all of that can be enforced, but West said he's not sure the van lord business is really viable anymore anyway.
They have to get the money back out of their investment, and and then add it all up and see if they made anything. I don't think they're going to make too much.
But he did notice something interesting when he went to check on his own RV.
The guy was selling them. He had two of them there at the tow yard yesterday when I went there, and they were selling them.
Who do you think's going to buy that?
They were already sold. I mean,
do you think a van lord bought them?
No, I don't think so. I really doubt it.
Oh, okay.
This would be the time to be getting out of that, not getting into it.
Taking the profit out of van lording may be exactly what the city has in mind. And at $150 per minute, it won't take long to do that.
While the new ordinance is now in effect, the city says it has to post signs before they can actually tow the vehicles. The cost to do that citywide is estimated to be more than $4 million. Well, here is a crazy Waymo story. A pregnant woman on her way to a USF medical center gave birth inside one of their self-driving vehicles Monday night. Yeah, according to Waymo, the company's remote rider support team detected unusual activity inside the vehicle, and they initiated a call to check on the passenger. Well, a UCSF spokesperson confirmed that the mother and baby arrived at the hospital in a Waymo. But perhaps the craziest part is that this is not Waymo's first delivery. The company says it's already happened in Phoenix. In a statement to us, a spokesperson with Waymo says, "We're proud to be a trusted ride for moments big and small, serving riders from just seconds old to many years young. We wish the new family all the best, and we look forward to safely getting them where they're going through many of life's events." Coming up next here on CBS News Bay Area, an innovative helping hand on this college campus thanks to their local food bank. How these new food lockers are helping provide free food directly to students.
The lockers make it even more convenient for students to pick up the food on their own schedules.
Start your day with us and open your world.
Time to open up those windows and get this day started.
The power of CBS News.
It is a historic day in news.
Taking you around the globe, across the country.
With Federal, live, and
into your community.
To the South Bay, major changes.
And Bay Area weather from a whole new perspective.
Let's head underneath this cloud layer.
CBS News Bay Area's Morning Edition. Weekdays at 6 on KPIX.
Oh, well, it's another chilly day for us today in our inland spots with low 50s and upper 40s in places like Antioch, stretched all the way over into Concord too. Throughout the next couple days, we're continuing to see cool, cloudy skies, misty at times as well. But at least as we head into this weekend's forecast, we'll notice just a little bit of a warm up heading into next week too. 50s turning into mid 50s and upper 50s around the corner. You make your way over into our Bay forecast. Well, we're already in the upper 50s. We'll actually see 60s returning into the forecast the next couple days. A best chance of showers rolling in as we head into next week.
Bay Area food banks are in full gear this holiday season, and the food bank of Contra, Costa, and Solano alone hands out more than 2.7 million meals a month to families in need. And now, as Veronica Macias reports, the food bank is partnering with Diablo Valley College to fight against campus hunger in a creative way.
So let's get this in the refrigerator right away as well.
Wellness manager at Diablo Valley College, Alicia Faustio, is helping student workers unpack after a trip to a Contra Costa food bank distribution site.
Here at DVC, we're not just in the business of minds, we're in the business of hearts and minds.
While it may run like a business,
super. Give me like 2 minutes and I'll let you know when you can make your way in. So
everything inside this pantry on campus is free for students. On a weekly basis, they're helping feed about 250 in need.
It's important that we acknowledge that food is vital not only to our health but our mind. And students studying can really do better when they're fed.
At DVC, this isn't even her primary job, but it's one responsibility she loves managing because Alicia believes food is a basic human right.
This is our back stock right behind you.
Student workers and coaches here spread the word on campus and aim to help remove the stigma with food pantries. The doors here remain open even when classes aren't in session, so people can come in. Juggling classes along with work and family life for many makes for long hours.
So they swipe?
Yep.
And at DVC, these food lockers have made things even more convenient.
And then they can pick up their food from there. So many of our students have lives outside of the classroom, and many of them are caretakers either for children or for older family members. Lots of them have jobs outside of class, and they're often rushing from one place to the next. And so the lockers make it even more convenient for students to pick up the food on their own schedules.
Busy students in need can now get meals right at their fingertips. In between classes, students have taken notice of the new lockers installed along the walls. Recently, applications for food assistance has also increased. So between these lockers and the student-run pantry, these women are making sure everyone on campus has what they need to reach their fullest potential.
And if you want to help support local food banks, you can scan the QR code on your screen or head to our website, kpix.com/give. And we would love you to join us for our holiday special. That is airing Christmas night, 7 o'clock on KPIX and streaming on the free CBS News app. We have the inspiring stories behind the effort to feed families across the Bay Area. Coming up here on CBS News Bay Area, we are hopping aboard the Bay Area's very own Polar Express. Meet the people who keep this holiday favorite chugging along after more than 6 decades.
We're moving. The train is now on its way up to Sunol. If we don't preserve it, it's gone forever.
He sounds like he's from Wisconsin.
It's kind of hard to tell if you're seeing hazy conditions or just foggy conditions, especially off into the East Bay. But as those clouds start to lift, you'll notice a little bit of a difference. Daytime highs sitting in the Bay, sitting in the upper 50s and lower 60s each day as we dive into this weekend and early next week. And speaking of early next week, well, daytime highs are going to stay a little bit cooler for our inland spots, but the change in the forecast, the big story for us, has to do with an end of this dry spell that we've had for us recently in the Bay. It was great for that Thanksgiving travel, not having rainy conditions or slick surfaces on the roads, but now we're starting to see a return of the showers as early as next Monday and Tuesday, so that's what we're keeping a close eye on as we head into the next couple days. We'll continue to monitor that forecast closely. Just to show you one more time, though, showing you our current temperatures as you head outside this morning before you leave the front door. We are dealing with chilly conditions, 30s and 40s, so be very careful out there this morning. Bundle up. This is the time of year where I always say start taking those outdoor plants and putting them inside, especially in those overnight hours. And if you have outdoor pets, bundle them up too and warm them up in those overnight hours. For now, back to you.
For our holiday light special, we are taking a ride to Fremont. For more than 60 years, volunteers have been salvaging and repurposing old steam engines, offering train rides from the historic Niles district. And then every winter, Christmas cheer takes over the railway. Kevin Coe takes us aboard.
We're moving. The train is now on its way up to Sunol.
Another winter night, another train ride for Henry Bound.
Every car's a different theme.
18 railroad passenger cars, all repurposed, decorated, and operated by volunteers.
You try to save history. We have a few cars on the train that are 100 years old. You don't want to just throw it all out and then try to tell somebody what it was like. You can only reproduce this.
Caboose 261?
You know, caboose? No, not really. If they got to go run them, but not really. Come on.
There's no time to waste on the Train of Lights, Fremont's take on the Polar Express, providing an East Bay adventure through hidden landscapes only accessible by train. It's also one of the hottest tickets in town.
We sell 28,000 tickets this year in 35 minutes. That's Taylor Swift ticketing, and our ticketing people are, it wipes them out every year too.
Henry and tens of Bay Area volunteers repair outdated trains, then run them throughout the year in Fremont. This seasonal event is so popular, it essentially keeps the lights on and the trains running past winter.
You can't go to the auto parts store and get parts for these things, so we have to make them.
These open cars were also created by volunteers who serve hot chocolate and make routine announcements during rides.
Snacks are $2 and bottled water and juice are only $1 each. Don't forget the commissary car.
In the commissary car, 5-year-old Liam was enjoying the ride with his family.
I like the lights.
It's just so beautiful, and it's something local. I've grown up in Fremont my entire life, so it's just been really something that I get to show my kids.
For all the volunteers aboard, the hope is to share a bit of East Bay history with a sprinkle of Christmas cheer.
If we don't preserve it, it's gone forever.
Really cool. And we invite you to join us on Christmas Eve and Christmas for our Holiday Light Special. That is on KPIX and streaming on the free CBS News app. Both evenings, we're going to share some of the season's best light displays from several Bay Area neighborhoods. Well, thanks for streaming CBS News Bay Area. I'm Ann Makovic. We're going to be right back with your first alert forecast and another look at your top stories.